Thank you so much again, for being here. Looking forward to serving you today and giving lots of value and lots of impact all around buying an online business, which can literally be life-changing considering your circumstances. And everybody's got, a different reason, different goal. But if you're looking for an opportunity to step into a business that's already successful, established, can give you cash flow on day one, can give you an additional income, can give you a replacement income, can give you an additional asset for you to be able to build wealth from, well, this is the right place to be. So congratulations on making that step and taking action and being here today. So before we dive in, I'm going to wait just a few minutes before I dive into the content for today. Let me know what city and what state that you're joining me from just here in the comments, and then we'll dive into the content that I have prepped for today as well. All right. New York, New York. All right. Yeah, Ben, thank you for being here from New York. I love New York, one of my favorite cities. Nick from Miami, Florida. Amazing. Yeah, I've been to Miami quite a bit over the last year and a half now. Definitely love the city. Great network down there. Great weather too. You gotta love it. And then we got, it looks like we've got Reese from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, that's a first. I've never had anybody from Chattanooga on my webinar. So, okay, cool. That's great. And then we've got Nikolai from Texas. Love Texas. Grew up in Texas. So I've got lots of great memories in Texas. So it's great to see you here, Nick. Thank you so much for being here. Pernille from Sacramento. Thank you, Pernille, for being here. Love to see you in here as well. We've got Jenny from Knoxville, Tennessee. I've heard great things about Tennessee. I've never been, but I've heard great things about Tennessee. And then we've got Zach from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So amazing. Midwest, the Midwest, they just have those they're really good at just grinding and just, putting in the extra hours and working. They've just got, very good blue collar values. I've noticed that with anybody from the Midwest. So Zach, I'm sure you've got that as well. And then we've got Lauren from Boise, Idaho. All right, we've got a bunch of others, it looks like too. But anyway, those are some of the people. So thank you, again, for being here. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up when you can see it. I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen loud and clear here. And that also my audio is coming in clearly as well. So here we go. All right, boom. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Let me know. Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I've got some thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Another one. Awesome. Good. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, let's dive in. Okay, guys. So on today's webinar, we're going to go over how to buy a cash flowing online business in the next few months without starting from scratch or risking your life savings. So welcome to today's webinar. Before we begin, shut down any distractions. This way you're present. This way you get lots of value, lots of impact from today. This way you could ask questions. You could learn a lot as well. Turn off your phone notifications, push your phone away, put it upside down even. Close those extra browser tabs, be focused on this, and give this your full attention for about the next, it's usually about 60, 75 minutes, not 90 minutes. This is what you'll be shown today. You'll be shown how to buy a cash flowing online business, even with no experience, limited capital, and no deal pipeline. This will take you from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. No experience required. Creative financing is available. And also it's going to be following a proven evaluation framework. And this is from your real experience here. I mean, these are portfolio screenshots of our companies. And as you can see, if you total the amount that you can see here on screen, there's literally over 30 million in sales from our businesses that we own, from businesses we bought since 2022. So this is from real revenue, real businesses, the experience that we have when it comes to buying businesses, managing businesses, growing businesses. This process you're about to learn to help you buy an online business, it comes from real experience. This isn't something that we're just, teaching. This is something we're actually doing day in, day out. So the proof is real. You saw the screenshots. We went over the revenue. We've done deals. We've gotten results. Now imagine what could happen to your portfolio if you had the same exact system that I use, but simplified and structured so anyone can follow it. So stay until the end. I've got something very special that's going to make this even easier for you. All right, let's dive in. So who am I? Who's Josh Marsden? Well, I've acquired 19 online businesses since 2022. These are e-commerce businesses, Shopify, Amazon, direct-to-consumer brands. I've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022. This isn't revenue for clients. This isn't managed advertising spend. This is my own portfolio. This is my own sales. And I've also raised 8.2 million since 2022 to acquire and scale online business assets. I've also made the Inc. 5000 twice now over the last 2 years because of the success that my company and I have had. But here's what matters most. It's not just about my results, it's about whether this system works for other people too. So multiple students have closed deals working with us. These are regular people who followed the ARM5 process and bought their first online business. So it's not about me being special, it's about the system being special. And today I'm going to literally hand you this system. It proves that this isn't about me being special, it's about the system being special. Okay, so here are some real student results. This way you don't just take my word for it. I want you to see some real stories from people just like you. And so to do that, I am going to pull up a YouTube link, and then I'm going to share my screen so this way you guys can check out this video. Give me 2 seconds here, and then this way you guys can see what I'm talking about. But there's been some lives that have been changed by buying businesses. Let me show you Jason.
So I want to share with you a...
Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share this tab. Okay, and then let me know, give me a thumbs up when you guys hear the video. I just want to make sure everybody can hear it clearly. I'm going to put it on full screen, and here we go.
Another case study that we just had in the acquisition method. Let me tell you about Jason before I show you a video from him. So Jason, he joined the acquisition method, the done for you tier, because he wanted to get out of his career in auto sales. He had been in auto sales for decades. He had voiced that it had caused strains on his relationship with his ex, which led to a divorce, unfortunately. And it also led to strains in his relationship with his daughters, and he wanted to be closer to his daughters. He wanted to basically buy back his time. And he knew that if he stayed in his auto sales career, that he would be stuck. He would be at the whims of an employer, and he would have to continue to work 6, maybe even 7 days a week. He was making great money, but money's not everything. Time is everything. And connecting with the people that you love and valuing those relationships, that's key, because that's what you remember at the end of your life, in my opinion. So here, watch this video from Jason, because I would love to see you go through a similar transformation to break out of the rat race and to see success from buying an online business with our help. So watch this video from Jason.
Hi, I'm Jason Decker, and I am the owner of This Silly Girl's Kitchen, where I got the help from Team ARM5, and I am incredibly grateful I did. I was your typical rat race guy working in automotive for 26 years, a couple days off a month, not spending time with family. Every story you can dream up was pretty much the life I was living. And I just decided there had to be another way. So with the team at ARM5's help, I was able to buy my first business. And it literally took 4 months for when I started till me finalizing the documents on my asset purchase order. And I'll tell you this, I got a Harvard education on what it takes to buy a business. I got a Harvard education on the legalese, and it's a lot of work. So if you don't plan to do work and you think that's just a layup, well, that's not it. But the good part is you have the freedom over your time and your success. And that's what this system helped provide me with. I did the work, and am doing the work and will continue to do the work because I want the company to have massive success. But at the end of the day, I really have to thank the guys from ARM5 because they helped me out tremendously. They held my hand along the way, which is exactly what I needed. And I'm grateful I made the decision I did to join ARM5. So thanks, Josh, and especially thanks to Jeff, because he was absolutely outstanding, holding my hand through this, teaching me as much as he did. He was not only has become a friend, he's become a mentor, and I am incredibly blessed to have both Josh and Jeff in my life. Thanks.
All right, let me go ahead and switch back real quick, guys. All right, coming back. Okay, all right, guys. So you heard from Jason, the real guy, went through the program, no background owning a business, had been working in auto sales. He was making really good money too, but he wasn't necessarily happy. He was grinding, like many of you probably, and he also had been sacrificing a lot. And you just heard how working with us, buying a business, literally changed his life. And now he's literally spending so much time with his daughters, which is, giving him so much more fulfillment than what he was doing before. And he's accomplishing his vision for himself. So here's the typical ROI breakdown. Now, this is the typical breakdown for a first-time acquirer of businesses working with us in our program, the acquisition method. So let's just say that you come into the program, the average business is 150,000, okay, or more. And this is a brand doing 50,000 a month in revenue and about 15,000 per month in profit. And this is just an example. There's plenty of businesses that are more expensive. This is just an example. And a business like this that's doing about 50,000 a month in revenue, which is about 600,000 a year in revenue, you're going to spend maybe up to 20% max on the down payment. Okay. And you can get the down payment fully financed through one of our lending partners, or if you have cash to deploy that you want to get working, which, you never want to sit on cash, then you could always use that too. But you can literally just use a lending partner, cover the entire down payment, very simply, very quickly, very easily. This way you're not spending any of your own money out of your own pocket. Then the rest is on a seller financing or an earnout. Even better, earnout is where you're making payments to the previous owner of the business based on the performance of the business from the previous month. So every single month, the business has to hit certain criteria for you to be able to make a payment to the previous owner. So it's a good shared risk approach to have a lot of that baked into the offer. And then the monthly profit after acquisition is 10,000 to 15,000 per month after acquisition. This is immediate cash flow from day one of ownership, which is literally recouping your investment into the acquisition method program to work with us. And then now you have a business that's doing 180,000 in annual profit. And that's an annual income stream that's more than most jobs out there. And then on top of that too, we're going to continue to work with you. We're going to help you scale it. And let's just say we help you even double it. Now it's doing 30,000 a month in profit. And we also really help you work on the business. This way the business has all the attractive characteristics that a buyer looks for. And so we're able to get a better multiple on it than what you paid for when you bought the business. And now the business is at a 3.5x multiple. And so if you were to do the math off of that, that's 180,000 per year. 360,000 per year in profit. And then times 3.5, now you have a business that's worth 1.26 million that we can then help you sell. And that's life-changing money. If you were to sell a business and get, let's just say 60 to 80% of that, okay? The rest of it would be probably over like a 6-month, 12-month period, for example, depending on the buyer and depending on our ability to get a deal done. But either way, that's life-changing money. That's nearly 7 figures, and you might get 7 figures from the sale of the business in the next 24 months, okay? So that's the typical ROI breakdown for anybody that comes into our program, works with us, even with no business experience, even with no online business experience, no e-com experience, no marketing experience, coming into the program, buying a business, stepping into a business that's already generating cash flow, and then working with us to double the business or more. Now they have a much more valuable asset that they can truly benefit from, that can literally change their life when the business sells. And right now is an incredible opportunity to take advantage of this. There's literally over 1 million boomer-owned businesses that are expected to sell by 2035. And 48% of boomer owners plan to exit within 3 years. So there's 10 trillion in private business assets coming to market right now. This is called the silver tsunami. It's happening right now. Okay, there's lots of baby boomers that are going to be selling their business or already have started to sell their business. So here's a snapshot of my portfolio. So I focus on e-commerce brands, online companies, Shopify, Amazon, direct to consumer. And these were all acquired using the exact same 5-step system I'm about to share with you today. And each business was acquired with creative financing. Okay. Like for example, the last business we bought was doing 5.3 million a year, and we only paid 212,000 on a down payment. Okay. And we bought smaller businesses, but that's like one of the biggest businesses we bought, and that was the down payment, for example. So we're really good at creative financing, offer stacking, making sure that we're getting a deal done that has a shared risk approach that reduces the amount of money that we need to put down to buy the business. And we're really good at also leveraging different ways to cover the down payment versus us just coming out of our own pocket for that down payment. So most of these acquisitions we've been through over the last several years now have been acquired with little to no money out of pocket, and all are managed with lean teams and proven systems, especially with AI today. And these aren't outliers. These are normal people who followed the system and got results. Every single one started exactly where you are today. So who is this for? So we've identified that this really benefits a certain, some very specific people. For one, this benefits professionals and career changers. You want to own a cash flowing online business without years of trial and error, and you're ready for a new path. You want to get out of the rat race. You don't want to have that ceiling. You don't want to have to deal with a boss or bosses even. That's why. And you want also freedom. You want freedom. You don't want to have to sit in a cubicle. You don't want to have to drive to work every day. That's an hour there, hour back, wasting 2 hours every day, 10 hours a week. You don't want to do that anymore. This is for you. Or investors seeking better returns. You're tired of 7% stock market returns, and you want the 30 to 50% returns possible in online business. And the great thing too, going back to this point with online business, is it's an online business, okay? There's no limitation on capacity when it comes to how many people can buy from you every single day. You can scale to millions of people in the United States alone. You could scale to other countries and add millions of people. You can scale very rapidly too. So this is an asset that can really grow and give you a increased ROI over time, unlike other assets. Or you're an entrepreneur who just wants to skip the startup phase, and I don't blame you. You don't want to spend 2 to 3 years building something from scratch. You want to buy something that already works. That's the smart way to become an entrepreneur. It's hard to start a business. It's hard to get the marketing going. It's hard to build a team over time. I've done it, I know, and this is definitely the smarter path to step into success. And also on top of that, this is for coachable action takers. You have capital to deploy or are willing to explore creative financing, and you're ready to follow a proven process. Now, this is not for everyone though, okay? This isn't for get rich quick seekers. If you're looking for overnight money with zero effort, this isn't it. Buying a business is real work. You're not willing to do the due diligence. If you're not willing to invest time in learning and evaluating deals, this won't help you. Want passive income with zero involvement. If you want to flip businesses with zero involvement or aren't willing to follow a systematic step-by-step process, this isn't for you, okay? All right, so here's your commitment. I need 3 things from you before we go any further. Number 1, keep an open mind. Some of this might seem too good to be true. Creative financing, buying with little to no money down, but I promise you, trust the process until you see the math, all right? Number 2, be ready to take action, not tomorrow, not next week, today, because the difference between success and failure is speed of implementation. Money loves speed, okay? Money loves speed. Taking action will get you to your goal, basically. Number 3, be open to getting help. If what I show you makes sense, be open to investing in yourself. I'll show you how you can work with me directly. Okay, so with that said, put yes in the comments here if you agree with those 3 commitments, and this way we can move forward. I want to make sure you guys are all with me on this. All right, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, let's get real. So you might be thinking, Josh, you've bought 19 businesses and you've done over 30 million in sales since 2022. You must be some kind of genius, and I'm not. So where I started, I didn't come from money. I grew up a military brat, and we didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. And, and then after my dad got out of the military, there was a stretch of time there where we struggled, to be quite honest. And so I didn't come from money at all. I didn't have connections in the business world. And I started with nothing but a willingness to learn and take massive action. And my first business purchase, it wasn't glamorous. I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in my first sets of business purchases in 2022. I learned a lot from that has then helped us really optimize our step-by-step due diligence and buying process. I mean, I overpaid. I didn't know what due diligence really meant back then, but I learned, because that's what you do as an entrepreneur is you fail forward. The difference between a wannabe-preneur and an actual entrepreneur is an entrepreneur isn't afraid to fail. And failing is a good thing because a failure is just a lesson. That's all it is. And that's what buying businesses was for us back in 2022. Okay. And that experience became the foundation for everything that came after. But once I found the right process, everything changed. I developed a systematic approach to evaluating, financing, and transitioning into online businesses. And that first painful experience turned it into a repeatable system. And then I did it again and again and again. And since then, like I said, we've purchased 19 businesses. We've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022. And we've made the Inc. 5000 twice over the last 2 years. Feel free to go to Inc.'s website and look up ARM5 formula. Okay. So I didn't have any advantages you don't have. In fact, you have a massive advantage that I didn't when I started. You have someone who's already made the mistakes and has built the system for you to protect you from those mistakes. Success in business acquisition is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about having the right system and taking action fast. So here's the big picture, right? Let's start with the full map. I want you to see the big picture before we zoom into each piece. So what ARM5 actually stands for. So ARM is the marketing engine that makes these businesses valuable. The 5 profit amplifiers are the levers you pull post-acquisition to multiply growth. So you've got A, which stands for authority. You're buying a business that already has trust and credibility. It's established. R is reciprocity. The audience wants to buy. They keep coming back because they keep seeing value. M, monetization. The revenue engine is already running, and you can maximize that with follow-up marketing. And then 5, profit amplifiers. You've got retention, conversion, pricing, efficiency, and traffic. You can pull different levers to be able to grow the business in a short period of time and also to improve the business long-term as well. And then the acquisition method it comes down to these 5 steps. Number 1, evaluate. Find deals worth buying using proven criteria. Number 2, finance. Structure creative deals with little to no money down. Number 3, transition. Take ownership without disrupting the business. 4, optimize. Apply the 5 profit amplifiers to grow value. And then 5, scale. Build a portfolio of cash flowing assets. So it's a bit of a counterintuitive approach. Most people think you need years of experience or millions in capital and a huge network. But the truth, you need a proven system, the right guidance, and the willingness to take action. You don't need money to buy a business, okay? You just need to take action. You need to have the right mindset, a very open, abundant mindset, not a scarcity, fearful mindset. And you don't need the network. You don't need, millions in capital, none of that. You don't need experience either when you have people you can lean on throughout the process. And here's what makes this different. Most programs teach theory. Now I give you a step-by-step system. So other approaches could be like they hand you a book and say, hey, here's how you're going to learn how to buy a business. And you have to read a book. I have a few of these books over here in my bookcase, okay? I mean, it's going to take some time to go through that book and to understand it and then to apply it. Or they say figure it out yourself. Or it's theory-based, generic advice, and you're just on your own. Okay, those are other approaches out there. Now, the ARM5 system, we put you in the passenger seat right next to us, and we just turn on the GPS and we just follow the map. And we say, follow my lead every step of the way, and we'll have you closing deals in months. And I'm not teaching from theory. I've personally bought 19 online businesses. I've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022 alone, not counting the first 9 years in business. And you're learning from someone who does this every single day. So you see real deals, real numbers. I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you real deal structures, real profit and loss statements, and real evaluation frameworks from my actual portfolio. And creative financing literally changes everything. The parts that used to require hundreds of thousands in cash are now possible with creative financing structures. For example, these are the ones that are most common: seller financing, earnouts, but there's other creative deal structures on top of that too. And this is also designed for first-time buyers, not people who already own a portfolio, not people with M&A experience, mergers and acquisition experience, people buying their first online business. So why now? So we're in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history, literally. Like, look it up. We are in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history. Middle class is unfortunately shrinking. And cash is either going upstream to the people that take action, or, or people are going to be struggling, unfortunately. I mean, that's just the way right now, that's what's happening in the world. Unfortunately, that's trending right now. And as you can tell by my voice, I don't like talking about it because a lot of people are affected by it. A lot of people that I care about are affected by that. But right now, though, baby boomers, they own millions of businesses. And as they retire, they need to sell. And this is creating the largest wave of business transfers we've ever seen. And right now, too, the e-commerce market is massive. The e-commerce market is also growing every single year and has been, and it's projected to grow significantly over the next 5+ years. But currently, it's already a $6.8 trillion market. It's a massive growing market. And there's businesses changing hands right now every single year. And there's literally 70,000 or more online businesses right now listed for sale. And that's at any given time too. It's not just now. I mean, this moment won't disappear tomorrow, for example. There's going to be businesses for sale over the next 12 months. And that's just because of the fact that we are in the middle of just a baby boomer selling their businesses, and more businesses being listed for sale every single day. So before, you had the traditional path. You could start from scratch. It would take you 2 to 3 years to have some success, but a lot of people unfortunately fail. There's about a 90% failure rate for startups. You could spend $50,000 to $200,000 building the business, maybe even more, and there could be no revenue for months, which is very hard to do. Like, I just talked to someone a week ago that recently became independent underneath like a Farmers Insurance or some company like that, and he's struggling. He hasn't made any sales over the last few months, and he's it's a tough road to start up a business following the traditional path, which is what he's done. But see, the ARM5 method, you could buy an existing business within weeks, within just the next few months. You have proven revenue from day one. So you don't have to go through that startup struggle. You just step into a business that's already successful, already generating cash. Much easier position to be in. And also on top of that too, creative financing. It only requires little, maybe even no money down. There's ways to structure deals. There's ways to sell a seller on doing a deal that has a shared risk approach that reduces the cash needed on day one. Plus, if there is any cash needed on day one, there's ways to get that cash that doesn't affect your personal credit either. So there's ways to be able to get a deal done, okay? And like I said before, you step into cash flow right away, immediately on day one of ownership. So the window is open right now. The opportunity literally exists right now, and seller financing is common. The market is still fragmented, but institutional money is starting to wake up to online business assets. But you can't do it alone. Without the right process, the right evaluation framework, the right deal structures, the right transition path, you could end up buying a lemon or losing your deposit. So it's best to follow a proven process and have expert support. With 19 acquisitions over the last few years, I've compressed it into a system that anyone can follow step by step. That's what makes right now the best time in history to buy your first online business. Plus, on top of that, if you just look around the world and see what's happening in the world right now, you want to fortify your situation. You don't want to depend on companies. Companies can replace you with AI overnight. We're doing that right now in our online businesses because we'd be irresponsible if we didn't. You also have lots of other things happening in the world right now that's causing inflation, for example, which is making it even more expensive to live. And so, if anything, in my opinion, everybody needs to take action on something like this to fortify their situation, strengthen it, hedge against the things that are happening right now. So this way, you're not at the whims of things outside of your control. You're instead taking action and fortifying, strengthening your situation. If you have a family, you should absolutely be doing this. If you're on your own, yeah, I mean, you should still fortify your situation, okay? And today I'm sharing my 3 biggest secrets to buying cash flowing online businesses. I'm going to walk you through each one step by step. So let's start with the first, okay? Now here's a quote I like to use before I kick things off on the secrets. I didn't invent business buying, I just systematized it so anyone, regardless of experience or capital, can do it safely and profitably. So here's number 1, the evaluation methodology. So secret number 1, you don't need to find the deal. You need to know which deals are worth buying, okay? And most people are stuck in which deal mode. They're trying to find like the needle in a haystack. They're trying to find the perfect situation. And they spend weeks scrolling marketplaces, looking at hundreds of listings, falling in love with ideas instead of numbers. They're trying to find that passion business instead of being a smart investor, smart owner, smart acquirer of a business, finding a good business. And they either buy the wrong business or they never buy at all. And what people think is, I need to find the perfect deal. I need to look at hundreds of listings. I need months of research, and I need years of M&A experience before I take the plunge. Okay. Well, keep waiting then, if that's you. The truth, you need a proven evaluation framework. The right system filters in minutes, and due diligence follows a checklist. And literally the math, when you're evaluating a business, it tells you everything. So the ARM5 evaluation framework, step 1 is we want to look at, is the profit real? So we check the profit and loss statement over the last 12 months, month by month, not a total, month by month. We want to see what the cash flow picture looks like. We want to see what the trends are in the business. Is the business stable? Is it growing ideally? Is it declining? How sharply is it declining? Those are things we need to look at. Step 2, assess stability. Is the revenue consistent? Or is it volatile? Is it a seasonal business or is it a steady business? Is it a business that only capitalizes on the holidays? Or is it a business that actually has a good marketing system that's generating cash flow consistently all year? We also want to evaluate sustainability. Will this business exist in 2 years? Is it still relevant in 2 years? Is it an apparel brand that is on the downward decline right now and was trendy at one point? Or is it a business that could help you prevent COVID and COVID is not relevant